Mambo vipi everyone, and karibu to Ado Veli Podcast, the number one Kenyan music podcast. And guys, in the building, as always, I have to give a round of applause because she is the second female artist on Ado Veli Podcast, and also that makes her the second female rapper on Ado Veli Podcast. So guys, I want her to introduce herself, so kindly do the honors.
Thank you. I go by the name of Groovy Jo with the slimy flow, like you already know. Yeah, that's my name. That's what I go by.
Awesome. Groovy Jo.
Yeah.
Shukran sana for being here on Ado Veli Podcast.
Thank you so much.
And for honoring our invitation.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Pressure season. God damn, my ancestors. I want to prosper right now. Yeah, so Groovy Jo, how do you know your day ones?
How do I know my day ones in terms of my friends?
Yes, your day ones, like your fans.
My day one fans or my day one like friends?
Your day one fans.
My day one fans. The ones who know like my OG music, the first like the music I used to post on SoundCloud. The fans will come up to me and like I'll like talk about music from SoundCloud, and I'm like, what? You remember that song? It's been years.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's how I identify my OG fans, and yeah, that's how I do it.
I'm glad that the Valley Podcast is one of your day ones because we started bumping Groovy Jo because of courtesy of SoundCloud. And the first song we did come across was No Attitude.
Yeah.
We have played it, and at that time, you're going by the name Groove.
Yeah.
The Jo was not introduced yet.
Yeah.
It was just Groove. Yeah, and it was, the Y was not there. It was VE.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's when we started bumping Groovy Jo, and we've been following your journey for a very, very, very long time since those days.
I know that. Thank you.
Most welcome. There's a song you did release. It's called What You Know About That.
Yeah.
And one of the lines there you say, "Us, Booty and the gang, right now I'm a shrapper."
Yeah.
Is that the time that you started identifying your style of music to Shrap, or when you started your career, you already identify yourself as a shrapper, or that was the time when you said that line that went like officially Groovy Jo is a shrapper?
Yeah, that's that line was the start of me being a shrapper, because that's when I got to meet up with Sao and the whole gang, Butros, and I got like assimilated to the culture, and I loved it because Shrap is just not about Shrap. Shrap is everything. It's hip. It's popular music. It's everything. It's everything in general. So yeah, when I got introduced to Shrap, that's when I was just like, yeah, what? That's when I wrote that. That's when I wrote that in that line. So yeah, shout outs to my Shrap family.
Awesome. I'm curious. I'd like to know, like, who introduced you to Shrap music as a whole? Who was that one guy? Like,
it's Musao. Musao is the one who introduced me. I met him, and then he played me like the whole like catalog, and I was like, wow, that's really cool. Like, these guys are just doing it for themselves, and it's fire. So yeah.
Awesome. Now that was around 2018. Also the same time that you're trying to find your path in the game.
Yeah. And
it was Musao. Big shout out to Musao Momo. Yeah, he has done a lot in this game just for the new acts coming out, like Groovy Jo. He has worked with so many artists, and it's nice seeing what he's doing and where the Shrap gang movement is going. Yeah, so basically that is how you came into Shrap, and you started doing your music and identified yourself as a Shrapper. Yeah. Now, you see, in 2018, I'll tell you, we were like your day one fans back then in 2018. That 2018, I remember we did release an episode. I can't forget that episode. It was episode number 50 for the Valley Podcast. We did like a top 10 female artists in the game at that time. Yeah. And guess, Groovy Jo, you're in which number?
What number?
Number 10.
Number 10. Oh, that's tough. Who's number one?
Number one at that time.
Oh, at that time?
Yeah. At that time, can I remember? But I do remember you at number 10.
Okay.
And that list, so many of them are not there anymore. So many of them are not there anymore. So, like, I've seen you transcend from that period up to now. And if we were to do a top 10 right now,
Sorry
Groovy
about that.
Jo
Oh, Jesus Christ.
is on top there.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate it.
Yeah. So at that time, it was like hard to find female rappers. It was so hard, even us to just compile that list. It took us a while. And I'd like to know, with this Kenyan music scene, where it's more like difficult for female artists, like I've told you, that list that we created back in 2018, most of them are not in the game right now. Yeah. So how do you cope with all this and the challenges that female rappers and artists have?
I feel like I ignore a lot of things. I don't listen to a lot of people. How I cope, my coping mechanism is like ignore. I hear it. I hear what people say. I hear the criticism. I hear the jokes. I hear the love. I feel the love. I feel the love more than I feel the hate or that sort of thing. So with me, I ignore. I know I'm good at what I do, and that's what I fixate myself on. Because when you fixate yourself on a problem, or when you fixate yourself on, oh my God, these people, what are they saying? Oh my God, let me check. No. You won't progress in life. You need to do your own thing. Of course, you keep your ear out and but never let that get into you and distract you from what you love doing. So, because I love what I love, because I love what I do, I fixate on that. I don't listen to negative comments. I don't care about the hate comments. No one does what I do, so no one can really relate to what I do unless you've been in my shoes. So what I normally do is I ignore. That's how I've survived in this industry, and that's how I'm surviving in this industry. I don't listen to nobody. I just do what I do for myself.
Awesome. That is really good. Now, Groovy Jo, you say you know what you are doing. You're good at what you're doing. I'd like to know, at what point while you're still doing music, were you like, I'm actually good at what I'm doing, and all these things, negative comments and all these people talking, just mute them. At what time did you feel like, yo, I'm good at what I'm doing?
I think it's just when I was slowly getting the recognitions from other artists is when it started to clock that this is actually something that I'm really good at, because guys always come and tell me that they love the music, they think I'm really dope. So I was just like, okay, yeah. The moment I just started getting more recognition from other artists, and I think that was in like it's like shortly after I started releasing music, which was insane. So yeah, I've always gotten the words of encouragement from different female artists since 2018, since I dropped. So that's what has kept me going. I'm actually people don't even understand how actually I'm very, very shy, but my music really brings out this confidence and this fierce person in me. So yeah. So the first time, going back to what you're asking, is the artist, just getting recognition from other artists is what made me know that I'm good at what I do. Because when you come out, sometimes you kind of doubt yourself, but when like big artists come out and they're like, yo, you're dope, man, you need to keep doing that. Yeah, so yeah, that's how it started. So I have answered your question, right?
Yeah, definitely. So I want us to go on a music break, then we'll come back with more of Groovy Jo.
Cool.
Yeah, I'm digging Groovy Jo way back coming in. So guys, make sure you don't touch that dial. Uliza Wambiwe, tuko ndani Ado Veli Podcast. Groovy Jo, there's someone you're saying Butcher Valley.
Killing these raps are be a Butcher Valley.
Now you can just tell them they're now listening to Ado Veli.
I see what you're trying to do.
Yeah.
You're not listening to Ado Veli.
Yeah, so we're chilling with Groovy Jo with the slimy flow.
Like you already know.
Hey, I had to say that really slow because the S, they go mad at me. Anyway, this is Ado Veli Podcast right here on Radio 254. We'll play 100% Kenyan music, and I'm with Groovy Jo.
Yeah.
Fresh from dropping Pressure EP. And we have just listened to some records of Groovy Jo, the debut project known as the Groovy Way deluxe version. Yes, and that was your debut album. Was it an album or just a project or just a debut EP?
It was an EP.
It was an EP.
Yeah.
Awesome. At what set were you like before you dropped this, just to go to studio and work on the Groovy Way until the deluxe version?
So the initial plan was not even for the deluxe to be a deluxe. It was supposed to be a different tape, but it felt so similar to the first tape. It felt like an extension to the first tape. So I was like, why not just make it a deluxe tape? Because the sound was there, the bars were there. The first tape was more heavy on the bars and just me trying to come out into the game. So yeah, it only made sense for the 5 songs that I added to be an extension.
Awesome. And something I appreciate you did on the deluxe, you brought out Asum, Garvey, the Mr. Shrap Asum, and Boutros, the Shrap God on it.
Yeah.
For me, that was a complete project.
Right.
It was only right for you to do that with that, the Groovy Way deluxe version. It was complete for me. I didn't have any complaints. After I saw that, I was like, okay, Groovy Jo, now you're okay. You can continue to do your own other things, but you have sealed this project with this one. So Groovy Jo, there's you've been into a lot of projects.
Yeah.
And one I can remember is the Perform Incubator. I'd like to know how was the experience for you, and how did you like come into be one of the guys that were through that incubation?
I just signed up for it. I've always wanted to work with Muthoni, the drama queen. She's really cool. She's an entrepreneur. You can't just put her in a box. She's amazing. I loved working with her and I loved learning from her because she taught me a lot. She taught me how to work with a group because I've never really known how to work with a group. I've always just known how to work by myself. So that transition of just her giving me a team, a manager, an event planner, a producer, a sound engineer, a PR, it was so the transition was hard. You could ask her how I was also very, very stubborn. I'm a very stubborn person by nature. So it was just that transition of having a team and people doing things for me was kind of like, that's foreign. so I was always just constantly bumping heads with everyone because I just would go ahead and do what I wanted to do instead of like just have my team work on it and do it. But she taught me a lot. That whole experience was amazing. I would want everyone to experience that because it really emphasizes on how teamwork really matters. You can't do everything alone. You can't do everything alone. That's not possible. You have to have a team. You have to have people who support you, people who call you out, people who know exactly what you need to do as well for yourself, people who have the best interests for you, and you have to gauge how you get them because not everyone has the best intentions. So from that experience, it was beautiful. I met beautiful people. I met amazing friends, and now I have a manager from there. So shout out to my girl Maya. She has my back. She's always supporting me. She's always calling me out. She makes sure I'm not late. So yeah, shout outs to them and shout outs to Perform and to all the people who would want to join. Just join. It's an amazing experience.
Groovy Jo, out of all the guys that were in that incubation, I'll say you're the first artist I've met after that Kahoot. And for me, I feel like what you learned there, you have like take each and everything into place into just the Groovy Jo brand.
Yeah.
Like if it is PR in place, manager in place, all these things that you have learned there, like for example, performing with the live band, all those things. I see in you and I see a reflection of what you learned at Perform.
Thank you.
And I was like, Groovy Jo didn't go there to waste her time and those guys' time. You went there, learned something, and actually she's applying it in her career.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I actually appreciate that because, I'm still learning. I'm still very stubborn, but I'm still learning.
Awesome. You see, now you have a team that, for example, for us to get Groovy Jo here, it was courtesy of her team. Otherwise, like she say, she's stubborn. Maybe angitombe, you guys are not yet on my league.
I would never say that.
Awesome. But Groovy Jo.
I understand what you say.
Yeah. So another platform that I saw you perform was at this year's 2023 Valentine's Boiler Room.
Yeah.
And the Shrap God himself, Boutros,
brought me out.
Yeah, brought you out. Just as your first time performing on that platform, you know, so many people like to work with Boiler Room and Valentine's on that. How was it for you just to be on that stage and rock?
It was awesome. It was really amazing. I'm glad my brother brought me out. He's always so supportive of me, and he always also pushes me to be the best that I can be. So that was a really amazing platform, and I'm glad I got to experience that. It was new and it was a different crowd, and just having them experience my music was amazing because, at least I didn't have anyone boo me off the stage. So.
Let me tell you, guys, I've seen Groovy Jo perform so many times. People can never boo you because of the energy you bring.
Thank you.
It's welcoming and crazy. I've seen you perform in different places, and the energy, when Groovy Jo is on stage, trust me, there's a reason why you went to perform.
Thank you.
Yeah, there's a reason. Even before that, Groovy Jo, your presence on stage, everybody, if anyone is in the room or the place you're performing, they'll know somebody's on stage, and that somebody's Groovy Jo.
I appreciate that.
Yeah, so there's no way people can boo you because the energy.
Thank you. That's sweet. Thank you.
Awesome. Another project that you have worked on, which is like what was the last project before coming to your most recent project, was the joint project you had with Asum Garvey. It was called Shrappin Rage. I've seen and I've listened to so many songs that you have done with Asum Garvey. The same way I was waiting for you to seal your project with Asum Garvey and Boutros. I was waiting and anticipating, and I'm actually glad we are having a sit down with you after you have dropped a joint project with Asum Garvey, because you guys have an amazing chemistry.
Yeah.
When you're on the same track,
Yeah, that's my brother. I was even texting him, asking him where he's at.
Yeah, so like Asum Garvey is a good friend of ours also.
Yes.
Yeah, so you coming up and working with Asum Garvey, how did the project start? Was it like initially we were going to studio to make a joint tape, or what was the process of making Shrappin Rage?
I just hung out with Asum a lot, so that there was this period where we were just chilling, and then he was like, "Yo, I have some beats, like it's like Rage. Have you ever like tried doing Rage?" And I was like, "What? No, like that's that Trippy Red type shit." Oh, sorry. Yeah, that Trippy Red-ish. And he was like, yeah. And I was like, okay. He played me a couple of beats because he got them from Afam. Shout out to Afam. Afam is amazing. He's a dope-ass producer. So we're like, okay. Then we wrote, I think the first song we wrote was on Extra. Yeah, it was on Extra. And it was like so natural. I feed off his energy, I've noticed. I feel like it's also, let me just blame my horoscope like every other person. It's the Gemini in me. I've noticed I mirror energies. Like what you give me is what I'll give you back. Okay. So when Asum, when we're in the studio, this guy was just writing, and then he's always fast, choppy. Ashamaliza. Vast, like in 20 minutes. So I'm like, okay, cool. So he goes in the booth, and I'm like, wow, this guy is fire. So then I was like, I have to match that energy. So that's when I cannot be the same. These niggas beside me, they stay connected. I stay collected. All that gas will wear the petrol. You cannot surf my wave. This current stay be hot. It's spoiling kettle. Big moves I cannot settle. Switching green just like that kettle. Wait, that came so authentically when I was working with him because of the energy Asum gives. Asum has this energy that is really, really welcoming, that gives you a lot of psych, and yeah, we feed off each other's energy, and that's how Shrappin Rage came about. And it was I can't wait because we definitely need to have another tape.
Definitely. Yeah. For me, I'll welcome with all my hands because the two of you went on the booth. It's crazy. And funny enough, I didn't know it was like an experimental project because when I listened to it, for me, I only listen to Kenyan music, and I didn't know that Trippy Red sound but I can hear it because it sounds like kind of rock or something.
Yeah.
So I was like,
Lil Uzi also.
Yeah,
that type of vibe. Yeah.
Yeah. So now I understand how you have told. I didn't know at that time when I was listening to the project. Even every time I listen to it,
Rage is a genre. It's like it's a genre. That's that whole those beats. That's rock trap.
Yeah.
That's rage. That's a genre. That's a whole genre. There's so many artists who do it. Like mostly like the other examples that you read. So I never really thought I would do it because I was like, I don't think that's my niche. I love rock music, by the way. It's fun fact. I love rock music. I listen to a lot of rock music actually, but like I was just like, what? This is so different, and I loved it. You know, it was experimental and it came out beautiful. So yeah.
Awesome. So I want us to go listen to some of Shrappin Rage.
Sure thing.
Yeah, it's some Garvey joint project with Groovy Jo right here on Ado Veli Podcast, the number one Kenyan music podcast on Radio 254. Let's get it. Yo, Groovy Jo, on Shrappin Rage.
Yeah.
There's something you say, my dear, my dear.
Oh, my dear, my dear, my dear. What's that line?
But I don't know what my dear.
It was just a punchline on my dear, but it's my dear and my dear. So I was talking about my dear, you know, the my dear, the franchise.
Yeah.
And my dear, my dear, my dear.
Yo, if there's one thing Groovy Jo I like about you, is when you're rapping and it's your time to do your verse, you enter the verse with oomph.
Gracias.
And you kill it and you own the track.
Thank you.
Yo, that is one of the things I like about Groovy Jo when it comes to rapping. Groovy Jo. Whoa, cheeky.
Thanks.
Yeah, so we were talking about some of the projects you have been doing, and they happen to be the Nike Air Cypher.
Yeah.
Kindly let us know, how did it come to be?
I just got news from Sao that they wanted me to do the Nike Cypher. They reached out to him, and yeah, we got to do it. Went to the studio, recorded it, we shot it, and yeah, now it's out there.
Awesome. How was the experience working for that project?
It was dope. It was fun. It was something new. It was really fun though. I liked it. It was cool working with artists that I've never really heard of Blue Lace and Double XL Bandit, but afterwards I got to know them and they're really cool peeps. So yeah, at least I got to meet new artists and experience new people. So yeah.
Awesome. And now to one of the projects and the only reason why we are here today. Pressure Season.
Yeah.
Groovy Jo, the first time I heard you on the vocals and singing, I think it was back in 2020 when you released a single called No Love.
Yeah. Yeah.
That for me was the first time I heard Groovy Jo singing. And for me, it was something I didn't anticipate, but when I heard you singing, I was like, yeah, Groovy Jo now, she's ready. And coming to this project, you know, with the Groovy Way, you said it was more about bangers and dropping bar after bar. So I like to know, when you are creating Pressure, the EP, what did you want it to feel and to sound like?
It was never, I really didn't even think it would go to the direction that it did, but it did. I was just, the tape, it's called Pressure because I had so much pressure at that point, because guys were just giving me pressure about music and releasing and dropping, and I was just trying to figure myself out. I have this period where I have these spots of I just want to be left alone. I just want to give myself time and give myself space, because I respect my craft. I know I work best when I've just given myself time. So I had so much pressure from fans who were like, you don't even rap anymore, what's going on, you're not sending any music, you're not sharing any music, are you still rapping? And I'm like, oh, you have no idea, I'm just working, and I overthink myself to not releasing music sometimes. So yeah, this tape came purely out of the pressure I was getting from my environment to release new sounds. So yeah.
Awesome. And some of the singles that you did release before the EP was fully out was singles like Shere, Today, and Logo.
Mm.
And a lot of these songs, it's more of Groovy Jo with the singing element. And coming into Pressure, the EP, the first song is featuring Kali.
Yeah.
Difficult. And Kali actually, she had featured you on her project.
Yeah, Confessions of a Baddie.
Yeah, and the song was titled, I think,
Slip Aside.
Yeah, Slip Aside. So just entering the project, it's Groovy Jo, and the song is titled Difficult. So why was the song called Difficult, or was these difficulties that Groovy Jo is going through?
Oh, Difficult is a song about like giving yourself to someone, but it seems like it's so hard for them to give themselves back to you. So it's difficult. It's so easy for you to love someone, but it's kind of difficult for them to love you back. So the song was just basically, if it's difficult for you to love me, just leave me. It's fine. Yeah, so that was basically when Kylie's a really good friend of mine. She's like my sister. We love each other so much. And she's just experienced so much with me. Since we started, I reached out to her actually, and that's one thing about me. If I fuck with your music and if I like your shit, I will reach out to you and I'd want to work with you. So I reached out to her and she responded and she was like, yeah, girl, let's work together. She sent me a beat. We did a song. We did like 2 songs together. No, we did 2 songs together. One for myself and one for her. And that's when she called me like I think a month later and she was like, girl, you're gonna be on my tape. And I was so happy and I was so psyched. And she was like, she wants to shoot a video. So it was crazy, it was amazing. And that's when we built that relationship. So when I did Pressure, I just sent that song to her because I told her, girl, I just feel like you're the perfect fit for this song. And she responded almost immediately as well. So yeah, shout outs to Kali for the support and the love. Yeah.
Awesome. So guys, I want us to go listen to Difficult, Groovy Jo featuring Kali of Pressure, the EP. Guys, it's Pressure season on Ado Veli Podcast and Radio 254. The name of the song is Difficult by Groovy Jo featuring Kali. Yo, Groovy Jo, we're going to listen to another song called Pressure. But before we listen to it, you're just telling us how by the time you're preparing this EP, you're feeling a lot of pressure from fans and people just asking you about why are you not releasing music. And with all this pressure, the EP is out at the moment. Guys, make sure you go and stream it. It's out on all streaming platforms. And I've listened to it and Groovy Jo is on different elements and sounds. So I'd like to know, before we play this song titled Pressure, were you feeling pressure when you're trying these different sounds and also just Groovy Jo on another state?
Yeah, now the irony is that song is not even about feeling pressure. That song is about me applying the pressure. So yeah, I just wrote that the Pressure tape. I wanted the tape to have a song called Pressure. I already knew the tape would be called Pressure, but I didn't have the song Pressure yet. So I made all the other songs, and then that last song I was like, it has to be called Pressure. So yeah, that's how it came about.
So you had to apply pressure one more time. So just guys to know, Groovy Jo is always comfortable with whatever she's doing.
Yes, I am.
So guys, let's go listen to Pressure by Groovy Jo of Pressure, the EP. Yo, we are still on Pressure season right here on Ado Veli Podcast, and we have Groovy Jo in the building.
Yes, sir.
Yes. Another song that Ado Veli Podcast has liked on this EP is Something More. You have a song titled More.
And Something More.
And then you have another song titled Something More. But this one, you featured Vallerie Muthoni.
Yeah.
That is something here on Ado Veli Podcast we like, when we see 2 female artists on one track just killing it. And we'd like to know, like, how did this song come to be? Like, because is it the first time you're working with Vallerie Muthoni?
Not really.
On a single, like, or on a, because I've never had Groovy Jo and Vallerie Muthoni.
Yeah, this is the first time we've had a single, but it's not the first time I've worked with her. I've known her since high school. She's my friend, and we've been so close for a while. So it was a long time coming.
Yeah.
And this song was so organic. When I heard it, I was like, I want Vallerie on this track, and I sent it to her, and she asked me when I'm available. She pulled up to the studio. She pulled up to my friend's studio, City Boys. Shout out to Nene. So we went to Nene's studio, recorded it, and yeah.
Awesome. This one was recorded at Nene, City Boys.
Yeah.
City Boys establishment.
The Havas was recorded at Nene's.
Okay, awesome. Big shout out to Nene K. He's been on the low key, but anyway, continue, Groovy Jo.
Yeah. So that's how it came about. It's just a song that I feel like Vallerie is such a playful, cheeky, and she's so sweet. And the song is exactly that. So that was the person I went to for this particular track. So yeah.
Awesome. Up next, something more. Groovy Jo featuring Vallerie Muthoni of Pressure EP. Pressure season on Ado Veli Podcast, and we have in the studio.
Yes, Groovy Jo with the slimy flow, like you already know.
Awesome, Groovy. Pressure season is an EP that was released under ADF. Your previous project, the Groovy Way, wasn't released under ADF.
Yeah.
So I would like to know. Are you signed under ADF?
Yeah, I'm signed under ADF.
When did you start working with ADF?
A while back, but I was never signed. So yeah, it was like 2018, 2017 there. So yeah.
Awesome. So it's at that time coming to the release of Pressure is when now you guys started working full force on Groovy Jo, the brand.
Yeah.
Awesome. Another thing that we are going to play is a song titled Flex. And this song is Groovy Jo on Afrobeat style, like full force. But before we go to that song, I would like to know that different producers you have worked on this project, or you did. How many producers have you worked on this project with?
Like 4. Lemario, Papa Sketcher, Mavon the Beats, and K6.
You with Lemario, you go way back. Was Lemario the first producer that you ever started working with?
No, he was the second.
He was the second.
Yeah.
But you have worked with him for a very long time. So what is this one thing that keeps you working with Lemario all these years?
He understands my sound. So that's one thing. He knows like the beats that I like, and we just understand each other. That's how that comes about, me and Mario.
Awesome. Coming from here, we have Pressure season. Are we going to have a sequel, or what's next now that Pressure the EP is out?
I'm not. For now, I don't know. I'm not sure. It might go any other way. For now, I'm just focusing on Pressure and more music that is yet to come. So yeah, that's just gonna be something you're gonna have to wait and find out.
Awesome. So guys, you have to keep it here on Ado Veli Podcast, and also you follow Groovy Jo so you know what's next after Pressure the EP. You'll tell guys how they can get you, your music, and also how they can get in touch with you.
So shout out to everybody. Shout out to Ado Veli for having me on this podcast.
Pleasure.
Yeah. You can get me on my socials on Instagram, Groovy Jo Who Are You, on Twitter, Groovy Jo Who I Is, on Facebook, Groovy Jo with 3 O's. And yeah, my music Pressure is out on all platforms. Go listen. Tell a friend to tell a friend, and give me feedback. Don't give me feedback. It's all love from here. So yeah, thank you.
Awesome. So we're going to finish the show with Flex by Groovy Jo off the new EP. And guys, make sure you go stream Groovy Jo.
Yes, please.
Pressure EP and all her catalog. They are out everywhere. You have no excuse. So this has been Ado Veli Podcast.
This has been Groovy Jo with the slimy flow, like you already know.
Yeah. Until next week, same time, same place. Asante sana for tuning in, and inshallah, let's meet again.
Bye.